And we're live.
Hey,
Nice.
everybody, and welcome to This Is Difficult, the podcast with a bunch of nerdy guys talking about video games and some bullshit like that. Today is a very special, momentous one where it's going to be 4G's last week with us. So just kind of, right? Did I get that right?
I think this is
Yes.
the last week. Yeah.
I think this is your last week, dude.
This is his final week.
Well, unless he wants to do, all the rest of them with us. Never, ever actually leave. He'll just be a guest for the next 20
blow
weeks.
Up after I leave and was like, wait, I want.
That'd be
back in.
amazing. But then it immediately goes down as soon as you join. But here we like to talk.
Wait, I want
like
back
to talk
out.
about. God damn it! It's still doing the
Jade's in
intro.
there. Jade's in the shot.
Jade, look at her. Jade Mania here.
She's so good.
Little Jade cameo. She's so mushy, the mushiest.
Well, you know what you
what
should
we
do is make it so you
okay.
are like basically like ported through
Maybe let him
OBS. So you
finish
can do
the
a little
intro.
Jade cam,
Dude,
What?
when have
We
we
did
ever let
that.
anyone finish an intro on this show? When has that ever happened? Please tell me.
That's
Right?
come on. It's
we like to
tradition.
interrupt intros and intro-related things. Tradition.
You know.
I know. How would I know?
Hi. Did your mom like make you watch that growing up? She's like, this is
never
important.
coming out.
What?
She said, learn from our people. Please watch this and the Ten Commandments. Yeah, that was another movie that's like 8 hours long.
We
Praise
both
God.
had COVID. We're good.
We're all good. COVID
Yeah,
gone.
we're immune to the COVID.
Just marijuanaing. Yeah, we all got the antibodies fighting for us, Smash Bros style. Where are we? So we talk about video games and video game related things. Being Colin's last week, we're gonna do a special one, and I'm gonna kick it off to Paul. Oh wait, we got to introduce ourselves. Yes, I am Lord Yeshua, one of your hosts. I am Josh on the show. That's my real human name. We got Paul Ryugami-san. We're on his channel, of course. Colin 4Gs is going to be the guy whose last week it is, and we'll forget about him shortly after. And then Zach, another letdown, is going to be our new boy on the show. Woohoo!
Is that official?
So get used to him.
Is that official?
Is it?
That's
I think
official.
we kind
Yeah,
of
that's
It was like, oh
officializing
shit,
it.
Zach. Sorry, that wasn't official.
You're fired, Zach.
Oh.
So
Colin's actually not leaving now. No, I'm just kidding.
no,
but
it's
yes,
official.
so
I'm pretty sure that's
welcome to
official.
being official. I think this is the first time we've said it officially. So
Yeah, I've been teasing it on my
Woo!
shows and stuff, but yeah, it's
Mhm.
that is the first time we said
spoiler
it.
alert, Zach's joined the show. No.
has a
So
show.
this is going to be a special one. As being huge Zelda fans, we are going to be doing a Zelda thing this week that Paul, I'm going to kick it off to you because you're better at explaining things. And boom.
Okay, so here's the drill. Being that next year's the 35th anniversary of Zelda, and we just had the 35th anniversary of Mario, and
We're in it.
Nintendo did a whole bunch of cool shit this year for Mario. We decided it'd be a cool idea if not only did we give some predictions for what we thought the next kind of wave of celebration for Zelda would be, but also give little mini reviews of the games as well. The games
Yes.
that we anticipate are going to be part of the
It's pretty much
shindig.
already a Zelda podcast. So, might as well indulge in it a little for 1 week.
Right.
Well, we
should
should
Exactly.
have
also
a
talk about what
challenge
game
for
we don't
ourselves,
like.
though. We did have a challenge for ourselves
Ooh.
before we went live, and that is we're gonna try not
Yes.
to take craps on Breath of the Wild
Yes,
because
we're really
we do
going to
that
try.
every other week. Like we're gonna try real hard. knows
Yes,
if it'll
as much as
actually
as much as it is a laxative, we are going to not crap on it.
It really wasn't a breath of fresh air.
Are you guys just getting it all out now at the beginning? Are we doing that?
Okay, Colin said something interesting. He was like, "We should just say which game we
my
didn't
last
like,"
show.
and I was like, "But that's literally just going to be a segment on us."
Yeah. It would take
Yeah.
I mean, we could do an entire hour on why we don't like that game.
That'd be
100%.
really
not
funny,
going to.
actually. Like an episode just dedicated to that.
That would
Just
be
to get it
funny.
out.
I think that people are really sick of
But
us
like,
shitting on.
you would do it like in a
Yeah.
very like
Person is
detailed
really
way.
sick.
Like everyone would do their research and like come to the conclusion
Yes.
about why and have it like a little thing prepared.
I don't hate that idea.
Yeah,
I
think
don't
it'd be
hate
really
that.
cool if you guys had
Yeah.
like like not that you don't have legit reasons, but you could literally like break it down into
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it would be like a breakdown of comparisons from the games that
No,
are
no, we're gonna do it
flawless
now.
and
We're
be
gonna do it now.
like,
No, we're gonna move
on. But yes, so what do we do here? Do we play video games this week, or we're not doing that? What are we doing?
We can do that. Did anyone play video games this week? I had a busy week with the holidays and stuff. So
Yeah.
I honestly, other than the games that I
I
streamed,
played Kirby.
You played Kirby?
Kirby Superstar.
Wait,
Oh,
we
nice.
played Kirby.
You guys
We
played Kirby.
Did we? When did we do that?
We did play Kirby. We did. Yeah,
We
on
played
stream
Kirby.
a while ago.
Oh, we did. That was like 2 weeks ago, though.
We should play the new one, Meta Knight Revenge. Oh yeah.
What? Meta Knight Revenge.
That's what it's
Oh,
called.
I thought you said
Oh, is that
Mennonite
in-
Revenge, as in like.
The Meta Knight Revenge.
That's a whole different game.
Hey, we're gonna come back for 30 seconds. I don't even know.
Like they're
The
coming up in their
Meta
like
Knight-
horse and carriage, and they're like,
we'll be
That's
there.
"We're gonna take your electric lights."
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Actually, I think Mennonites
Yeah.
embrace
So that's-
electricity.
Got interesting real
All right.
fast.
Yeah.
Mennonite Revenge.
Is that
No,
part
I
of
said
All-Stars?
Mennonite.
Oh, I think we played. You did say Mennonite, you motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Meta Knight's Revenge.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So that is part of All Star, right? Yeah. I thought you were saying it was like a new game,
No,
like a new Kirby game.
game.
Ah,
New
la la
Right on.
la. For anyone who hasn't played what we're talking about, Kirby All Star is like the best Kirby
fucking
game.
awesome.
Except for I think
I don't
Crystal
know.
Shards.
The original Kirby game is so good on
really
Game Boy.
good.
Is it
It's
co-op?
so
But you don't have
freaking
power.
good. It's not.
You don't
co-op.
have
Yeah.
powers. You don't have powers.
And
in the
Kirby
very first
Kirby 2 on Game Boy also fucking amazing, and you do have powers.
You
Dude,
do have
true.
powers in that, and then 3 you do have powers, and it's co-op, but it's a little
But
slow.
it's ass. That game sucks.
For me,
you know
I
what?
think
I
Crystal
didn't enjoy it
Shards,
as much this time
I
around,
don't
and
know.
Superstar was just so much fun.
yeah,
We played
yeah.
it for 4 minutes and we were like, this sucks. And then we played Superstar for like an hour.
Dude,
Yeah.
Kirby Stream
Yeah.
Land 3 is really beautiful, but like it's
Yeah,
just
it is.
weirdly
It's
slow,
slow.
and all the levels are just kind of samey and boring.
Very
Yeah,
samey,
there's
yeah.
nothing like
Yeah.
unique about them or like
Yeah.
that really drew me in. Where like Superstar is just fun. I
Yeah.
mean, like every level is unique and different, and I'm like wanting to go forward with it. It's short too.
It's
I like
really
that.
impressive.
Yeah.
But wait, are we still forgetting Crystal Shards for the N64? It literally is the only
There's a
Kirby game where
co-op
you
version
can
of that
mix
coming out.
powers. Co-op from who?
version of-
Spicy
I'm
Wolf?
gonna message my guy.
Oh,
Crystal
message
Shards?
Spicy Wolf,
I'm
dude.
going
oh my
to
God,
right now.
We need
Oh,
that
nice.
co-op. Holy shit.
That would be rad. While
That
he's
just blew
doing
my
that,
mind
I'll
'cause I
tell
never
you
considered
what I
that.
did this week in gaming.
Yeah. What do we do? What do we
I
do?
beat 2 games this week.
Wow.
I beat Neo, which I'm gonna do a review
Finally.
of next week,
Excellent.
and I beat Onimusha 2,
Excellent.
which was a
You actually-
freaking
oh, wow.
blasty. Yeah, I beat them
was
both.
was that a grind city or was that pretty?
Neo was. Neo's
Neo was more of a
a
grind.
hard fucking game. It's it's like Dark Souls, so it's
Yeah.
just really hard. It's so good though. It's like it's definitely creeping into my favorite games of all time. Like it's genuinely is a
awesome.
really
we haven't
fucking
finished
awesome
Dark Souls
game.
3 yet, so
It's genuinely
we
one of the
beat
best
that,
games I've
right?
ever played.
No.
He looked. He's just like, shut the fuck up.
So
Honestly, Dark Souls 3 is like such a good Dark Souls game, but obviously it's Dark Souls. But there's so much to that game, and
Yeah.
in co-op, it's like never ending.
I
should
don't
finish
hate Dark
that.
Souls. I like Dark
We
Souls a
should
lot. But
finish
here's
that.
the thing: this is Samurai Dark Souls, and it's got
Yeah,
a kick-ass
I completely
story.
understand.
It's got co-op. It's more
Mm.
episodic, so like it's not just one big open confusing ass world. Like you can like jump from level to level, like you've got an overworld map and stuff, which is really cool. So
Yeah. It's realistic too.
Oh, what-
I want
what-
to say.
let's see. My death counter in Neo, I think,
Oh, you have a
reached
death count.
192. I want to say.
Oh,
I
that's
can tell
nothing.
you. Yeah, I could bring it up right now.
My first playthrough of Cuphead, I had 1,200 deaths.
Good lord.
Yeah, 25
I mean-
hours and died 1,200 times.
194 is what I
Yeah.
got.
The game was
to
brutality.
in Neo.
that's like 1 per hour.
Yeah, I only
That's
had
like-
26 deaths in Onimusha 2.
Really?
Onimusha.
That's it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've-
Only 26.
okay.
I thought
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
gonna have a
super
lot
low.
more.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But
Yes.
yeah, Neo's 194. So I beat both of those. Those
That's
are both
huge.
awesome games. I was really excited to finish those games, and I'm excited to move on to the next thing. So,
That is glory.
Yeah. Zach, did you play anything this week?
Other than what we're about to talk about, no. I mean, the holiday really screwed me up.
Yeah.
Both of my normal streaming days were eaten up by holiday shenanigans. We had to drive to Maine to drop stuff off with my brother,
Ooh.
and then drive further south to go to my parents. So like it
Are you
was
trying to open the green screen?
just,
That was
just
so
no
cool.
time.
We're like, aha!
That was hilarious. Wasn't
That was
it?
hilarious.
You guys, were you watching my stream the other day? I was I got
watching.
really frustrated at the very end. Okay, so at the very end of Neo, or not Neo, it was Onimusha. The
Okay,
game
so yes, I
crashed.
will.
Like I had already beaten the game. It was like in
Yeah.
the end credits, and the game crashed. And so
Wow.
I disappeared behind my green screen, and then like popped
It's
down
working
from
perfectly.
it. Like it was really fucking funny. You kind of had to.
It
be
was
there.
it was very
So-
funny.
Is it clipped?
But
Did it
like,
get clipped?
no, I don't. No one clipped it because people don't love me.
That's the reason why I didn't.
Aw. I literally screamed into the
dude,
darkness
I
and
would
said,
have,
Colin,
but I
clip
was
it.
working.
I could probably go back and get.
You
a clip
should.
of
That's
it.
a really that'd be good for
Yeah.
your
Honestly,
Oh yeah, it
was
should
a good
last
clip.
for a week.
It was
Your
really
video
funny.
should be up for a week, I
Yeah.
think.
I
It's
just
more than a
keep
week, isn't it?
running
More
into
than a
the
week?
desk.
right now.
I think it's like
10 days, 20 days?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something
I'll
like
go
that.
do it. It'll be fun.
It's a while,
but
yeah.
It's
long enough.
It's funny. I'll get the clip and I'll share it with you guys. It was pretty fun.
Nice.
Clip City.
But yeah. So that's it. So you guys want to get into
That's
the
it.
content?
I think we should. I mean,
Content,
this is supposed to be a
media.
Zelda show, and we've yet to talk about Zelda. So,
Well,
other
we
than-
did talk about
we
how
should-
much we hate
Oops.
Breath
Don't
of the
even-
Wild.
Don't start, dude.
Wait, we already talked about that?
That
Damn
is a
it, we really
slippery
tried.
slope.
We really
I missed
tried.
We
I
did. We
missed
got it
it.
out of our system. It's out of our system.
We did.
Now we
Yes,
can talk about the
100%
Zeldas we
out
love.
of my no hook shot. Just kidding.
Okay, so here's the drill.
Durability.
We're doing our predictions. Do we want to go one by one and say what our predictions are?
Okay,
I
I'll go
think you
first.
should kick it off. Oh, never mind.
You can do it.
Sure,
yeah,
I can kick it
okay.
off. I
Yeah,
can
go
kick
ahead.
it
Any
off.
of us can go
So-
first. All right,
so
give us
here's-
your-
Predictions
are
for
we
what?
doing all three?
Walk us through
Wait,
it.
are we doing all three predictions?
Hello, there's 4 of us.
There's 4 of us.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I meant each of us doing all 3 game predictions.
Oh, that's
like
not
because it's that's not a bad idea. Okay, anyway.
I was just gonna
Can we
give
do
my
that?
overall prediction. Do you want me to just do one?
No, do all of them.
Okay,
I wanna
here's-
hear all
here's
the-
what
Well,
I
I
think
think
that-
what you think is going to
okay,
appear,
okay,
and then we can do our
and
mini
then-
reviews.
We're all gonna be
Yeah.
different.
Okay, yep.
Here's what I think is gonna happen. I think they're gonna do something similar to what they did this year with Mario, right? They're gonna release some like clothing and toys and things like that, like they did with Mario,
Yes.
Lego sets, right? How
I'm gonna
badass
need
will
all
that
of
be?
it.
Zelda Lego sets,
Extremely.
right?
The castle,
Mhm.
Ganon's castle or something.
Yeah.
floating over a lava pit.
Oh, that'd be
made
rad.
of
I don't
Legos.
think
I
that's
would
what they're
love
gonna
that.
do, but they'll probably, stick with something more classic. I don't know.
They'd be
Maybe
like,
we
"Buy
get
your own
dude.
Epona."
Check this out. Maybe we get a Zelda
My
35
little
like we got.
Epona.
This is not one of my original
Oh.
predictions, but maybe we get a Zelda 35 like we did Mario
Dude.
35.
That is
Oh,
amazing.
what a
And
great
you literally
idea.
play through randomized dungeons from throughout the game, and like every time you go through a new door, it's like a new.
Yeah, and when you
Dude,
kill enemies, it's going on
that's
your enemy
so
screen.
Godly.
That's
I want
brilliant.
that really bad. That's
Hire me
brilliant, dude.
right now,
Yeah.
Nintendo. Come on.
Hire me. They're just gonna steal your idea.
You just
Don't
thinking
worry.
that just now?
I
That's
just thought of
genius,
that
dude.
just now.
That's amazing.
That's gonna happen probably.
That's gonna happen.
Because
just
like that's
you
maybe
said
that's
They have
why
the
like
technology,
Mario
of course they're
35
gonna
is
do
not
it.
gonna be a thing anymore. It's just, we're gonna replace
Oh,
it
because they're gonna do Zelda
with
35.
Zelda 35.
Why are we
All right,
yelling?
called shot. We're Babe Ruthing this right now. Called
Yeah.
shot. Zelda 35.
Yeah, a Zelda
There
35.
it is,
That's
Zelda
like
35.
really gonna happen.
Okay, so
Oh
I
my
think there's
God.
going to be a Zelda 35. That was a new thing. That
That was
wasn't part of
my
my original.
idea.
Yeah, I came up with that.
Yeah. Wasn't one of
We
my
all did.
original ideas. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to get a standalone rehash, not a remake, but what do they call them?
Remaster.
Remaster. Thank you. I knew it
Remaster.
had a re in it. We're going to get a standalone remaster of
Redad.
Skyward Sword.
Call it read
Right?
I think all of us. I think I can at least.
I think
confirm that.
honestly, I
feel
think
like
that's
gonna
kind of
happen, yeah.
already confirmed. So that's not even really
It's kind of confirmed. Yeah.
It's not
Because
even
the leak,
really
right?
like a
Like, it
like
was,
a
like, on
lofty
the
So
prediction.
UK, whatever.
just how like 3D World is coming back. I think that'll probably be the one
The
remaster.
one
It
standalone
will be-
remaster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skyward Sword.
I think that's what we
remaster.
get, right? So we get that, and then we get a combo set, including Ocarina of Time,
Mm.
both of the GameCube ones, Twilight Princess, and the boat one,
When
Wind
Waker, the
Waker.
boat one. That's an
Okay.
insult. Actually, the boat is on the cover.
and that's your like combo pack. So we get
Mm.
4 like 3D Zeldas, like the main 4 3D Zeldas. Those 3 that I just mentioned would be in the combo pack with Skyward Sword as a standalone. And then we get, all the toys and bullshit and Zelda 35. That's my lofty prediction for what.
Mm.
And then you know what I would really like, and this is just like this is my pipe dream, is that we get
Oh.
another top-down
Yes.
game, whether it's a brand new game or a remaster like they did with Link's Awakening, like maybe Link to the Past, or maybe one of the other
Yes.
top-down ones. But I really think that a top-down remaster could be something that they're gonna sneak in there.
Yeah.
That's my pipe dream. That's what I really want.
Yeah, that's huge.
Who's next?
I mean, I don't think you're wrong there. I hadn't thought of a remake. What did you say? Twilight Princess is the
Twilight Princess, yeah.
the remaster.
No. I think
Skyward
Sword.
Skyward Sword.
Is going to be the main remaster. Yeah.
The standalone.
Yeah. I mean, if they do a standalone of Skyward Sword, I'd be hesitant to put money that they'd do another one in the same style as Link's Awakening. I personally think that if we're gonna see one like that, it's gonna be one of the other. If we're gonna see a standalone remaster, it's gonna be one of the other top-down Zelda games. I think the most likely candidate, the most like notable in that line, is A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
But that's all we are, as we established earlier. That's already available in the virtual store, or the whatever they're calling it.
It is available for free, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And
so
yet,
I don't think we're going to see that one.
Well, and
would
that's
you still
why
pay
$60
for a new version?
Hell yes.
Well, yeah.
I'd
So
say
that's what I'm
$100
saying.
for
Like,
that.
if they do that, they're not gonna just re-release it as a standalone thing. If they do that, it's gonna be like Link's Awakening. It's gonna be like a new stylized remake of it.
Yeah,
Top
quality
down.
of life graphics. Yeah. Oh man, I'm there for it.
And quite honestly, I don't care which one they pick. I'm just a fan of the top-down Zelda games. They're
100%.
without a doubt the most fun games from my childhood that I remember. They're also some of the only games I had as a child, but that's a whole other story for another day. So yeah, I do think that if we get a standalone, it's going to be one of those, and I hope it is. That said, Skyward Sword would be dope too, so I'm not going to complain either way.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think we might see if they do another collection is I played through the first dungeon of Majora's Mask this week, which was way better than I remember it. Part of that, Colin and I were talking before the show, I played it on 3DS, so I kind of cheated a little bit. The first boss is ridiculously nerfed.
So much easier. It's crazy.
But I still had a great time with it. And I remember why I didn't like it as a kid. And that's because of the constant threat of the timer. Even though you can slow down the time, timers on the screen have always bothered me.
It's intense.
It's intense. It adds a level of tension that even though you have something like 3.5 hours, if you slow down time, which is, whatever, you can pretty much accomplish any task you want to at that point. It's still there, and it's still in your face. So
Pikmin 1, anyone?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's
Jesus
exactly what I was
hell,
thinking.
that's the worst timer game for me.
It's a nightmare. So
it's a nightmare.
Fine, great. But here's what I was thinking: they could very easily put Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask as one continuous adventure in a 30th anniversary collection.
Holy hell.
Then you can put a couple of Wind Waker games, because there were several in the series. You can put, just like
I see what you mean, like the DS one,
Phantom and Spirit Tracks.
Yeah,
exactly.
Interesting.
So you could
very curious.
You could put multiple games in one story, in one entry on a Switch cartridge. The Switch cartridges hold an ass load of information.
That's a really good thing that I had not thought about actually. Oh, yeah, that's a good theory.
Shower thoughts,
Interesting.
Man.
Shower thoughts.
Wait, so that's your prediction, you think?
So that's my my reach.
So you think that like you're reaching one is they're gonna take all the like related Zelda games, like let's say Link to the Past and Link Between
Link's
Worlds.
Awakening. Oh, and Link Between Worlds, yeah.
And combo those.
Yeah,
that would be rad.
That'd be glorious.
Super
I would
cool.
love to see a Link Between Worlds on console.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
okay, this is kind of, we're taking a break from Zelda, but I just found this out the other day. So part of it's semi-related.
Better be.
The Giga Leak that happened last summer, or this summer with Nintendo, like it was mostly like DS and 3DS stuff. But one of the things that they just found, because they're still finding information in that leak, is that the original design for the Switch had backwards compatibility to 3DS. So
that's crazy.
That's weird.
Oh my god,
that's insane. It's not like unthinkable that Nintendo
talking about the cartridge?
would intend.
Holy crap!
That Nintendo would intend to put Switch compatibility on the
stick a cartridge in there real quick.
definitely doesn't.
I'm just like
How different is it?
absolutely different. But it's a
Hey,
It works
Yeah.
flawlessly. No one's like ever tried it. Like, oh my god.
No one's ever tried it. It works perfectly. It's actually bigger than a Switch cart.
It's
That's
significantly
way
crazy.
bigger.
I
Yeah,
think it'll
like-
fit.
Wow.
yeah, we could
There we
make
go.
it fit.
Zach.
We could just smash it in there with the hammer. No. That would be hilarious. No one ever tried this.
We should do a video about that. Be like, wow, that actually works perfectly.
But an adapter,
Even has
literally an
the 3D
adapter,
effect.
Yeah.
could come out. That's just like literally a Switch card that is an adapter, like how the Super Game Boy came out for the SNES,
yeah, that'd be cool.
and it literally had an open slot for the Game Boy game. It could literally just be that for DS games.
You mean
cool.
this?
Oh, he got the Super Game Boy blue
Dang, gang.
version.
What is that?
That's
Super Game Boy.
disgusting.
Game Boy.
So it's literally a cartridge you put into your Super Nintendo, and it acts as a conduit for then a Game Boy that has another like cartridge slot inside of that cartridge.
So it
So it's
actually
a cartridge within a cartridge.
there's actually a whole DMG a motherboard inside the Super Game Boy because the Super Nintendo could not emulate Game Boy. So what they
Yeah.
did was they built a Game Boy inside the cartridge and then
Wow.
basically like made a conduit so like
Holy crap.
Mind blown.
And they the similar technology was used for Sonic and Knuckles
Oh wow.
in the Sega Genesis.
This also yeah.
It's within reach somewhere, but there's such a mess down here now. For me
There is
rummaging
also
around.
one for the Game Boy for the GameCube. There's
Yeah,
I cannot
Advance-
remember what it's
Game
called,
Boy
but Game
Advance.
Boy. Yeah,
Game Boy Advance
Was that
player,
what it's called?
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance
For
player.
Tingle,
But you could
the
also
Tingle
play Game
Tuner.
Boy, and the Tingle Tuner. But like you could
Why is that
play
not a thing
Game Boy
anymore?
and
That was not even on the Wii U version.
Tingle Tuner
No,
sounds like
but-
a sex toy.
It
we
is.
It
Oh,
really
It
does.
is. We're definitely not missing too much by losing the Tingle Tuner, but I will admit they didn't take away some of the empty space given by the Tingle Tuner, like some of these areas that were only accessible by it. Anyway,
I'll go later.
I'll talk about that in my review.
So yeah, that would be my
Yeah, that-
my deepest wish is that they take some of those games that were sequels or direct
Yeah.
continuations and put them on one grouping on a Switch cart,
Glorious.
so that you
I
can
would
fit
love
a
that.
lot more.
That's
Then-
amazing.
And
All the
the
Zelda
reason I
games
thought
in
of
one
that-
cart. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love it.
I mean, the reason I
Yeah.
thought of that was because my strongest memory from when Majora's Mask first came out was just how freaking heavy it was.
Oh, I
That
love it.
cartridge was incredibly heavy, and I remember
Oh,
opening it up. We
I thought you
bought
meant the
it-
game itself.
Well, okay, that too, but no, the physical weight of the cartridge was significantly more than Ocarina
Yeah.
of Time.
It was so dark.
Yeah, well, but
I'll be right back.
Uh,
on that.
Yeah.
Don't go. Anyway.
I don't know.
He's gonna go let the dog
No,
out.
yeah, interesting. Yeah.
So I feel like that would be a really
Interesting.
cool move. So
My one
I don't know,
thought
we'll see.
against doing a bunch of N64 games in okay, sorry, this doesn't take away from that, but like this means we're probably steering away from an N64 store ever being opened up on a Switch. The more we get these like packs and remakes and,
Yeah.
all, and even Super Mario
That's true.
64, like because that would obviously be on that store. So,
Oh,
So
without a
here's
question.
another
Yeah.
thing to consider. There's strong evidence of a Game Boy Advance store coming to, or like not a
the
store,
whole
but
Game
like
Boy store,
like the
Yeah,
Game
yeah,
Boy
I know. I
Advance,
keep
you know.
saying store,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like it's really a player,
Library.
yeah.
right.
Library
So
is
there's
perfect, yeah.
strong evidence of that happening soon, and if that does happen, we're gonna see like
Mario and Luigi, everything.
Sure, but like the Zelda games, as
Oh,
well.
yeah, I
bunch
forgot
of
about
them.
that.
Is it
Why did I say Mario and
Oracle
Luigi?
of Ages? Is
Minish
that the one that
Cap.
came out?
Minish Cap. Minish Cap
Minish
is
Cap.
the
Four
Game
Sword
Boy Advance
Adventures.
ones. That's like yeah,
Actually, Link's Awakening was also remade
Yes, it
on,
was.
that's true.
on the Game Boy
Or was
Advance.
that
We
Game Boy?
already
I
have
thought that was Game Boy Color.
No, no, it was Game Boy
I
Advance.
remember because I think it had the Four Sword expansion in it.
Yes.
Oh,
It
that's
was
right.
like Link's Awakening. Yeah. That was how I first played that. That was amazing. And then they
Mhm.
made it a full game on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be huge. Game Boy Advance player sounds amazing. Also, bring out the Game Boy games. Come on. Give us
I know,
Mario and
right?
6 golden coins. Like, this is no effort for Nintendo, really. It's more just like fan service to kind of sprinkle it throughout. Because they could literally dump this all on us, and then we'd be like, what else do we get? You know,
Right.
'Cause Nintendo fans are greedy motherfuckers. But
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
yeah, if they did a Game Boy Advance store, I would want all of it. I would want Game Boy as well. You know, but I think
Yeah.
that would happen. That'd be very likely.
So, and I mean, I guess that comes down to what is the anniversary of the Game Boy? Because I would be,
88.
yeah, exactly. It's a little while later.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're holding that Game Boy store until that anniversary, just
Ooh.
kind of keep the gravy train flowing.
That'd be good.
You
That's
start with Mario,
interesting.
then you get Zelda.
Maybe
I mean,
2023 would be the can't do math.
Yeah. But I mean, at 88. So right before that is Mega Man.
Hey, but Mega Man's not owned by Nintendo.
It's not owned by Nintendo.
It's Capcom,
but
right?
Yeah, it's Capcom. But they do have most of the license at this point.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see. I mean, all those originals. I mean, the only way you can play them is the combo packs on other consoles.
Right.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I wouldn't be
But they
surprised
are
to see
all
Nintendo
on
try out for
consoles,
that.
though.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, there's any number of things that they could do in 2022 to keep the hype train flowing for all those for all of us nostalgia wackos.
Yeah.
We would probably have a more powerful Switch by then, also, almost certainly. Sometime next year, if not 2022. Yeah. And who knows what that can do? And I'm gonna buy it.
Josh, what are your predictions, my guy?
Okay, these are a lot of good ideas, guys. Such good ideas. Wow. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes to Zelda 35. That sounds like it's so awesome. As much as I do think Skyward Sword is going to come back, I actually don't think it's going to be the standalone for the reason Zach said, that one big remake or remaster is kind of like a huge undertaking for Nintendo. So my prediction on the one standalone game is going to be Link to the Past remake, or it could be a remaster or remake of an Oracle 2-pack. I don't know, but like that would be cool. More likely something like that is getting saved for the Game Boy store. That kind of makes sense too, but like I would say Link to the Past remake sounds like a godly idea. We're obviously getting Breath of the Wild 2 probably at the end of the year, unless they give us a March drop, which would be really, really nice.
I think it's coming March. I think it's coming March.
March, yeah.
That's
what they did last time.
Breath 2's coming March. That's what they did with
I either predict March or November.
Yeah, but
it's one of those two.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
That's true. The only thing that I would think that would push it back
it?
past March would be because of COVID. Yeah.
And
COVID
like
bullshit.
everything else has been delayed because of COVID. So like, has anything come out early because of COVID? Like, thank God for COVID. You know,
Paper Mario.
This got out on time.
Paper Mario came out in 1 week. Like,
well, but we don't know. Maybe we would have known about that sooner. I guess they didn't even announce it until COVID
They didn't
hit.
even announce it until like April. Yeah, like Animal Crossing was at its height when they announced that.
That wasn't at PAX.
Yeah, that's true. That's
It
a
wasn't.
good point.
Yeah, it wasn't announced anywhere. It was an a la carte treehouse. Whoa, thanks, COVID.
Said nobody ever.
Said nobody. Yeah. So I think that's
Only
two big
podcast that likes
standalone
COVID.
games. Two big games. So Breath of the Wild 2 is obviously, god damn it. Breath 2 is the big one. So that's the big, like almost like the Mario Odyssey of the year. I can't believe we didn't get Mario Odyssey 2.
Yeah.
But anyway, that could be what they're doing in 2022. Or just give us a shit ton of games. We could literally get inundated with Nintendo games next year like it's nobody's business.
I mean, people have just been working straight out. There's
Yeah.
they don't have to take time off for hype or anything like that. So
That's
maybe we do
true.
get a huge pile
Just
of games next year.
waterfall. I think Paul is probably right. We're gonna get Breath 2 in March, and I think the big one would be Link to the Past remake in like November or October or something. Link's Awakening came in like September, I want to say, of the year it came out. So Link's Awakening remake, yeah. So it could be, I don't know. Again, COVID screwed everything up. But I do think Skyward Sword is coming out on the 3-pack. I think we're going to get a 3D All-Stars Zelda edition. I think they really nailed the formula on it, so they're probably going to want to do like the no-brainers are like the Donkey Kong series. Metroid is like so many things they could do with this. Star Fox, a lot. The Metroid remake, I would poop. So my bet is they're going to do the console thing again because they want people to be introduced to the old to the new. So like 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, we're going to get Ocarina of Time. It's foolish not to give us this game and show the younger generation this game. Even though it came out on the 3DS, that was like 5 years ago. So like foolish not to do Ocarina of Time. It is like the best game of all time. Wind Waker, I believe they're going to do a mashup HD remake kind of combo pack and call it the GameCube version because there won't be a touchscreen gamepad. So it's not going to be a full HD version. So it literally might just be a remaster of the GameCube version even. But I would want the Swift Sail and all those kind of tweaks into it. I think that is just too good of a representation of a different Zelda game to pass up. And like, although Twilight Princess might take that spot as the GameCube one, like just for realism and whatnot, I think that I'll finish why I think that also in a sec. So Skyward Sword, I think, is going to be the last one. And now the reason I think Wind Waker more so is that you can complete that storyline in a very nice way. Skyward Sword is the origin story, which leads directly into Ocarina of Time, Minish Cap in between, but basically pre-tells Ocarina of Time story. And then Wind Waker tells about Ocarina of Time story as well. So like all these games are tied really tightly with story, and I think that would be a really cool way and to show like multiple different, like it starts in kind of realism with Ocarina of Time, it gets like really cartoony, and then it's like a mashup of both for Skyward Sword. I think that also another reason is because they're kind of testing it out with Galaxy with like the gyroscope controls. I think kind of makes sense for the third one to be a gyroscopic game. Yeah. So I think that's why they might do Skyward Sword. I have no idea how they're going to do the sword play, because it is like not like Galaxy. It is very fine tuned. You may have to go full Joy-Con on this to make it work, but I think they could do that. I don't know.
If they fix the Joy-Cons.
If they fix the Joy-Cons, and that would be, so if that came out, I think that would be a late game, like a late in the year release, and that might be after the Switch Pro comes out and has a better Joy-Con, or maybe a Joy-Con Pro or anything like that comes out. Or maybe this brings out a new interface. Nintendo is really good about new interfaces and like touch and motion and all that. So I think it would be really cool to see them come out with some new controller, even to just be like, here's the real Switch controller. Sorry about that. Like that would be awesome. I don't even know. Like instead of having a plastic piece of junk, just like have the two controllers like literally slide into each other, and like I don't even know. I don't really know. But
well, I mean, the Wii Remote was such a fantastic thing and did such a good job.
Yeah,
you could. I'd be surprised if they couldn't come up with some way to just strap two Wii remotes to the side and be like,
literally,
it's a better Joy-Con. Here you go.
Literally, two Wiimotes, and we're like, no one's the wiser. No one notices that. I would love that.
It just looks like a racing wheel at that point.
Straight up, that's true. I found the Wiimote to be like one of the more ingenious. Clearly not me. One of the more ingenious controllers Nintendo's come up with. Ingenuitous. I'm an ingenious. Great controller. The Joy-Con was a step in the wrong direction.
That means like more than genius, because I'm ingenious.
Inside of it. But my God. The Joy-Con was a step in the wrong direction, but I think they're kind of making up with it with these new, like, I don't know, and bringing old games like Galaxy into the fold. This is all really awesome. I think it's possible we see Twilight Princess, but we literally did get the remake for the Wii U, but we also got the remake of Wind Waker. I just think Wind Waker is a more important game. I know that's kind of messed up to say, but like,
the reason I think both of those are coming is because the Wii U was such a kind of like underutilized console. Like so many people skipped the Wii U. Like I didn't even get the remake of Wind Waker came out on Wii U like a year before the Switch, you know, like
before it died. I remember that.
So like there just really wasn't much you know, like I don't think those games got much play on there, and I think Nintendo wants people to see those like really good products again, so they're gonna pop up, you know.
And not only that, but Wind Waker was horribly ridiculed when it came out just for being cartoony and like really going out there. For me, my biggest thing was coming off of Ocarina of Time, pretty much being my first Zelda game, and then Majora's Mask. I was like, there's more emotions in this game. I feel like the characters, because they are cartoon looking, have more features and like have more, like Link actually got angry as opposed to where Link is like, I can't even blink. Like, you know, like, and that was limitations, obviously.
Right.
But then in Twilight Princess, I didn't really like how Link looked when it was kind of made.
We all wanted that game, but then we got it. And we're like, this isn't very good.
We all wanted.
That's my brother's favorite Zelda game is Twilight Princess. I've never played it, but that's his favorite one.
No,
I thought it was Link's Awakening.
His favorite?
Yeah, no, it's Link's Awakening.
Okay, Link's Awakening. I think it's his favorite. Sorry,
come on,
3D Zelda game. It's his favorite 3D Zelda game. That's pretty confident.
Surprising.
That is
Adam,
surprising. It's a great game, actually. I replayed it recently. Had a lot of fun with it. Surprisingly, I don't remember having.
I have it. I want to play. I haven't had a chance. I really haven't touched my Wii U very much.
Having replayed that this year, I loved it, like you say. But like, and the story and whatnot, there were so many long, drawn out parts. Like they were like, let's make a GTA Zelda, and like you're just a wolf running for like literally like 10, 20 minutes sometimes, just going from point A to point B. Like, and then teleporting gets you get your teleport like so late in the game.
Aesthetically, I like it more than any other 3D Zelda. I love the aesthetic. Like I think that's what Zelda should look like in like 3D.
I think it should look like.
I don't like the cartoony shit. I don't
like Dark Souls. What things should look like if they really want to do like serious, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But that's the closest we've gotten to that.
Oh, I didn't think so.
Okay.
I think Ocarina of Time is the closest we got. Honestly, I think Ocarina of Time has a lot of dark parts.
Okay,
just
so here's the thing. Dude. Ocarina of Time is so dated,
Shadow
man.
Temple?
You have the Shadow Temple's fine. It's
I just know what they were going for in that game, and I'm like, okay,
I know what they were going
the
for
intensity.
too. But like like it didn't look good. Like I love that game.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good
Perfect,
though.
you're saying.
Right.
At the
get
time, it looked great, but like compared to what you can
And
do
now it
now,
looks
and even
better.
compared to what you could do on the
But
GameCube,
Twilight Princess didn't age. I don't know. Twilight Princess doesn't look.
I think
that's
it
what
aged
think.
better
I
than
think it did.
than Ocarina of Time for sure. For sure, graphically.
I don't
know.
so, okay. My opinion might be a
Do I
little
have beard
skewed here
goggles
because
on?
my most recent playthrough of Ocarina, or in any part of Ocarina, was in Left 4 Dead 2. Somebody recreated the Forest Temple in Left 4 Dead, and it
That
was
sounds
amazing.
awesome.
And it was super dark
That'd
and
be rad.
gritty
That's
and awesome.
badass.
And there's zombies everywhere. It's super fun. And we
That's
never
amazing.
quite beat Phantom Ganon, but that's fine.
What?
When there's zombies attacking you, Colin, I defy you to try and focus your fire on Phantom Ganon.
Stalfos.
Wait, is it actually Phantom Ganon like flying around?
It's Phantom Lewis, but the character from Left 4 Dead. But it is
Phantom
Lewis.
Lewis.
Does he like float around and
has-
shit?
Yes. Yes.
Does he come through paintings?
Yes.
It's
Oh,
Phantom
yeah.
Brad.
Front some chad here,
It is
bro.
probably the coolest Left 4 Dead 2 mod that I've ever seen.
That's
And
badass.
I've seen
Awesome.
quite a lot of them.
We played some
But
really
no,
good
it
mods
was-
for
it
Hat
was-
in Time. That were pretty fun. But
I love a hat in time.
It was
Banjo,
cool.
the Banjo game was pretty good.
I have to say, having
Oh, yeah,
you know
Banjo game
just
is-
played a bunch of Majora, it feels like Zelda took emo pills,
Yeah.
and
So good.
I love
The hot
talk about
emo
aesthetic.
chick.
Oh, that just made me come up with an insane. So if we do get like a remake that's not top down, I think it could be Majora's Mask actually. And like
It
we're
could
saying,
be.
if there's one game we want, if we're not getting a new Dark Souls-esque Zelda game, we're pretty 100% sure we're getting
I don't
Breath
want
of
a
the Wild
Dark Souls
exactly.
Zelda game. Breath of the Wild is like as close
I'm
to
back
Dark
in the
Souls.
podcast. Paul,
Yeah,
you're out of the podcast.
We might get like eventually. I don't know about this year. It's not really on top of my prediction list.
I want
but
a Zelda
remake
game,
of
Zelda
Majora's
game.
Mask. I want a Majora's Mask that looks kind of darker because that is the game that needs the darkness emphasized.
Yes,
and like
that's-
it's one thing
yeah.
if you're playing like Wind Waker and like, why is it so scary all of a sudden? Like Majora's Mask, it would add so much. It would that game already feels like you feel dread playing
Yes,
it. It's
yes,
like
you
that
do.
would be incredible. As much as I really want that to be on my prediction list for like something this year, but I don't know. I feel like it's the one that's going to get left out, sadly.
I
do,
think
At
so
least
too.
this
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
I think
It's
it-
so good, and I
I-
think it's going to get left behind.
Such an incredible game, though.
unless
Such
unless they bundle it with Ocarina.
Yes, and that so leads me to my last prediction. If everything I just said doesn't happen, and they decide, well, we can't just do another 35 edition and make everything like Mario, I think it's possible we get literally a Zelda collection, and this has happened before with the Zelda collection that we got on the GameCube, Master Quest, and all that. And there's a lot of pieces. Like if they gave us Ocarina of Time, wouldn't they want to give us Master Quest? And also, wouldn't we want to play the sequel on the same console? It's like all the same questions. We may literally get like a $100, like 10 game cartridge that's just all like slight touch up remasters. Like if that happened, it'd be Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Master Quest, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Link
So
to the
the only
Past,
issue
Link's
comes down
Awakening.
to
Like, I would
emulation.
love that.
If that's the issue.
It's literally they own all these fucking software chips like in their freaking filing cabinet. They could just slap this on anything. This is how computers
They actually
work.
hired the
No.
third party company. Actually, they actually hired like
They did for Link's Awakening.
Mario 64. Actually,
Mario 64 they did?
for the Switch, they actually hired a third party company. I think to like make their emulation basically.
Yeah, I think
So they
that's
don't have
true.
their
It's
hands.
like
They're
custom
hands.
correct.
emulation.
Well, I think they. So I don't think they
Very
hired a
interesting.
third-party company.
Well,
I think they bought
they basically-
another company's emulation.
But they
Yeah,
are
like-
But that's still-
emulating.
I
It
mean, it's
happened.
the same.
Yeah, it's the same. They've
Yeah.
been emulating since the Wii Shop, since the shop, eShop on the Wii.
True.
And they literally are
Yeah.
giving us free emulations as we speak on the Super
don't know.
Nintendo Store and all that.
I don't know though. I'm curious. Yeah.
I don't know. I would love like if it's not like a 3-1 collection, just go hard and like give us
Do
like
all
you're
the
saying
games
like all the
since-
continuous stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you could scroll down this menu and it'd be like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, the story of a boy who, and then it's like it shows his
Yeah.
tail. Then you go to the next one and it's like Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass and like all. I would love that.
Love
I
Phantom
love that.
Hourglass.
Yeah. And if it was a oh my god, they can literally do the timeline like how it looks, like start with like Skyward Sword
That'd be cool.
and like branch off and.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate
It tells
dream.
us
is,
like
a
story by
complete
story, which like
collection.
Link started his story,
Yes.
and then you have to play it for the next part of the story.
how
I would
rad
play
would
it
that
from.
be?
I would
and
play
then
it
like
from the
flips
beginning.
and like
yeah.
Link was reborn.
Link was that would be so amazing. I would
Paulina,
love
what
that
are
a
your
lot.
predictions?
Cutscenes.
Yeah, what are your cutscenes, Kalina?
Let's hear
What
Kalina.
are your
yeah.
cutscenes?
What are your predictions, my guy?
Let me think. I've been thinking about this for a while, actually. You guys had some really good ones, like especially the Mario or the Zelda 35. Like that was like
Yeah, the one I
That,
came up
that
with.
I came up with on the fly.
that was
dude.
good. That was
That
really
is
good.
spot on.
Honestly,
I think that's
that
the
was-
most likely to happen out of all of
Yeah,
our
well, that was just
predictions.
like, wow, that makes a lot of sense, you know. And the fact that they're ending it pretty soon too,
Yeah.
so which probably tells us when it might come out, even potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
we
you
may
know?
get it in February, or sorry, March or April. Yeah, just because of that. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I, for marketing purposes, give it a couple months. But yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
I wonder if there'll be
true.
overlap
Just, yeah.
or if they'll just end them again one. You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
So,
Welcome to the 35 collection in 3 years, and it's like
yeah.
all the 35.
So that's a
games
good
you
point
can
about the
buy.
collection thing on the. I actually completely forgot about this. I was looking at like past Nintendo behavior to predict like
Yes.
future Nintendo behavior, and Zelda has been on a collection disc. That has been a thing. So
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
I bet we'll see that. Like, we'll probably see like, Link to the Past, Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, Master Quest. You know,
Yeah.
and then we might see maybe one up. You know, from that. You know, like maybe Twilight Princess as well. You know, I'm not sure. So
It could even be
it
like
really
a 2D
depends on
bundle
emulation
and a
though.
3D bundle.
And they also just released those two in HD for the Wii U. Was it? Is that what it was last?
Which one are you saying? Wind Waker
Yeah,
and
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Wind Waker and
They
Twilight
both got it
Princess,
on the Wii U, yeah.
Yeah.
HD remakes.
Whatever happened to that? That's so strange. They just kind of like that came up on a really bad console, and then like no one got a copy unless you have a Wii U.
got
Yeah.
'em.
No, I know.
Yeah, I got 'em.
That's awesome.
For me, Wind Waker HD is like a reason to own the Wii U. It
Yeah.
is such a
I
quintessential
agree,
version of
yeah.
the game.
But, like-
it needs to be brought to the Switch.
Well,
That
that's
game's
what's-
gorgeous.
So I
Like,
wonder-
it,
Yeah,
and it
it's so
plays so
gorgeous.
well on the Wii U. It's amazing.
It really does. Yeah,
so then
it's
will we get
fine-tuned
like a
completely.
collection and then like those three games remade, like Skyward
I
Sword,
mean, maybe.
Skyward Sword, Wind
So we
Waker,
get two
Twilight
two
Princess?
collections, like
Yeah.
the original
The
Zelda
original
collection, and then like the
collection.
GameCube collection.
Yeah, and these will be done on the emulation as well properly, so they're HD quality. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
everything. Like, they upgrade them basically, and then we'll get two collections. So we'll get all those games.
That
those
would
three
be
games.
wild. That would be so much Zelda.
And then, yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
that's
pay for
more or
all of
less
it.
what they
Yeah.
did with Mega Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they've
a
got
fat
the-
collection.
I
Yeah.
just think Nintendo's gonna try and break them up more,
Squeeze more
for,
money.
for money purposes.
Yeah.
Mm.
But like
Yeah.
looking at their past behavior as well, the one that did stand out apparently was Link's Awakening was important enough for them to give a remake to. I think it's foolish of them not to try and milk it a little. We're not going to get 10 individual like cartridges and be like, here's Skyward Sword remake, here's blah
So
blah
then-
blah, blah. But like we're going to get one big one at least
They'll
remake.
probably
I feel
replace
like.
then those three. Then I had said Skyward Sword. Well, except for the fact we saw Skyward
That's the
Sword
thing,
show
that's-
up though on its own, right, for the Switch. We
Yeah.
actually saw
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
So
We
that's
saw
like
this,
all
yeah.
but confirmed. Like
Yeah.
like places have leaked a Skyward Sword remaster. And that's the only one of those games that hasn't been remastered, right? That's the only 3D Zelda that hasn't been
I
had a
think
remaster.
Yeah.
so. Actually, yeah. It's
Like literally the
3D Zelda
only
that's
3D
only
Zelda,
been
if-
once.
even if you
Wow.
include the 64 ones, because
is.
those were remastered on the 3DS.
Yeah.
the 3DS. Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Interesting.
And on the
I think
Zelda
because the
collection,
hand
they're both
controls
in.
were probably the limiting factor there. You know,
Mhm.
like how do you
Yes.
translate? Do you go the Twilight route?
Yeah,
method?
but we saw what they did with Mario. What is it? Sunshine? Not Sunshine. Fucking
Sunshine.
No,
Oh,
no,
Galaxy.
not Sunshine. Galaxy. They did a really
Yeah.
good job of
Oh,
translating those controls.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, that was.
But again, Colin, how fine tuned is like you have to hold your sword perfectly, and like your controller is going to be like.
I honestly think
just to kill Girahim
dude,
with a Joy-Con. I don't even know.
The fucking HD rumble and shit and like the gyros in the
Yeah.
Joy-Cons are better than they were.
Oh,
in the-
yeah.
like you
100%.
can feel ice cubes.
well, your
rolling
phone
around
has
in your
that.
hand.
It has
Yeah.
an accelerometer and a gyroscope, so it always knows where it's at, and the accelerometer always
Interesting.
knows when it's moving. So together,
Yeah.
with a special kind of filter, it can know just
Yeah.
about right where you are, and it has all that technology in both controllers. So like,
Exactly.
and there's no
Honestly,
need for,
like yeah.
So
They may
there's
have
no
gone
need
too
for the
hard
light
on
bar.
Yeah, there's no need. They may have gone like too fine tuned in Skyward Sword with the Wiimote, and now they can kind of dumb it down to like you just turn it a little like sing, like a little jiggle,
no, I'm
like and
thinking like you
nothing
just take it off
crazy.
and you'll have to.
Yeah.
Take it off and have it perfectly like
I
lightsaber
think-
status.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Although it
Yeah.
would be annoying, like it'd be kind of annoying that the only game you have to play where you're forced to take off your Joy-Con.
That's
you
what I'm
know?
wondering if maybe they will remake it and like redo
Mhm.
it completely.
Like, will it be
That one's
well,
an-
again? Will it be the
yeah.
translation from Twilight Princess on the Wii to Twilight Princess on the GameCube? You know, because they dumbed it
Right.
down with just a swing of your sword, right? Like it used to be, you had to swing your Wii remote. That was more of a button though. It wasn't like directional, was it?
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
so.
it was more like your Wiimote was your sword, basically, and actually you had more capabilities. I feel like being able to move it like quicker, at least. Like
I don't
you could just
know-
like run and chop grass.
Oh, you couldn't do that in the GameCube
but
version?
you can't in the GameCube. You have to stand still and chop.
Oh,
So it's like you
interesting.
can't run and use your sword
know
like you
that.
can on the Wii. Yeah, but like aside from that, I don't know. Skyward Sword, it feels like it was made to have these specific emotions, and so many things are like hold your sword up perfectly and like
Yeah.
absorb the light. Just even that,
Yeah.
it's like you have to literally extend your Wiimote. It's like I don't
Maybe
know.
that's
It's
the
a
issue.
tricky
Is
one.
that they're trying to figure this out. Like, what would people be acceptable with? Like,
Yeah.
once I get it, do I want to play it like the way I remember it? You know,
Yeah.
or am I okay
which
with?
begs the question: do they finish that, or do they just give us
Oh,
a link to the past?
that's true. Do they even give us Skyward Sword? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Or do
interesting.
they just give us Link? They may literally give us a motionless version of Skyward Sword 2 and like
Yeah. That's
completely
possible,
remake
too.
it and make Link feel
So,
very
like,
fluid.
you would do
That's a great point, especially
slash-
because
slash-
the
slash
the
menu? Up?
Switch
That sounds like a-
Mini.
sounds
What
like a
is it called?
remake
The Switch
then.
Lite exists.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have
You
separate
can't take the
there are
Joy-Cons
though.
off.
I think there are games that says this will not work on the Switch Lite.
dude.
They
Oh,
have.
really?
I think you said this. I think you're the one who
Oh
said.
yeah, that's true.
There's been
But,
precedents.
would they do that,
I
though?
mean, they have set that precedent before, like with the 3DS versus the new 3DS. There's some games that only work on the new 3DS. There's only a few,
Oh, it's ass.
but there are
Yeah, but
some.
that's
The same thing
it's
with Game
poo-poo.
Boy Color. Remember when that came out,
Yep,
right?
yeah.
Some games worked on the original Game Boy, some didn't.
So is that
That's
something they're gonna combine then and
true.
give you both the option, to play it how you want to,
And
that's
then like you just
good
like
question.
can't. It'll just go like when you try and enter Skyward Sword, and it'll be like, oh, can't use
Or
on
I'm
this system.
saying, will it just switch over to the button controls rather than motion controls at that point?
That
you
would
know?
seem like a whiff for the audience. That would seem like a
Yeah.
huge whiff for a lot
I feel
of
like any
clients.
product that is this widely loved, you've got to be able to make available.
Gotta give it to everyone.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a
Wow, that's a
toss-up. I
hard
guess
one.
we'll
That
see.
kind of I didn't even think about any of that until you brought that up.
These are all
Yeah.
really good predictions, I think. You guys, we're at 50 minutes. So do you guys want to try and rattle off some quick reviews of the games that we
Sure.
Why
think
not?
are going to be remade?
Why not? Let's
Okay,
do it.
I'll start with Ocarina of Time.
Perfect.
I
Yes.
think that's definitely coming. Okay. So I'm actually going to use our format, kind of like
Yeah,
a
why not?
modified format of this. I'm not going to go through the pricing and all that stuff, but what I like about the game, Ocarina of Time kind of really set the standard for 3D Zelda games. Like, there's no doubt about that, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
And it executed it perfectly, I think, for the generation. It did a really good job of making it feel like a Zelda game, even though it was a totally new dimension, like literally like a new way of looking at it completely. Instead of
Mhm.
top down, we're playing like third person, fully 3D, full 3D environments. So that was a huge step forward for Zelda. What I don't like about the game, there's honestly not much I don't
Whoa.
like about the game.
Oh, thank you.
I think that, and this is not something that I think they really had much control over, because at the time it was by far the best looking game on the console, right? It was like one of the best video games I've ever seen in my life when the game came out, but it did not age well. I will stand by that. That's a hill I'll die on. I think that the graphics in
You'll
that
die
game
now.
look like a booty. In
like a booty.
in today's age, they don't look good, right? Is the gameplay fun? Of course it's fun. It's Zelda, right? And like I said, they executed it really well. The combat's excellent. The lock-on system's good. It's better than any other lock-on system in that generation.
Oh
Like,
my god, Z targeting was so
by far.
far.
Yeah.
Z targeting.
Z targeting is good. Again, it feels kind of aged, but not as bad as things like GoldenEye, right?
Correct.
So-
Unplayable.
Right.
Unplayable.
Right. So that's really good. The art's great again for the time. It's beautiful. The music is beautiful. Like, the music's probably the most memorable music in any Zelda game ever, right?
In any
Like,
game, possibly.
Well, because it's a cornerstone mechanic of the game. It
Yeah.
better be
which
memorable.
a lot of
Yeah,
a lot of Zelda games
exactly.
have music as a little bit of a mechanic, but like this really hammered it home, and like
Yeah.
it's incredible. Sound design's great. How long does it take to beat? For me, it takes a long ass time to beat. For you guys, to probably beat it in a couple hours.
6 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh, 5:59. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Never mind.
Would I play a sequel?
2 minutes. I win.
Yes, though I haven't. I have not played Majora's Mask. I'm ashamed to say.
You have not played Majora's
I haven't
Mask.
played
You're
it,
ashamed
no.
to say?
That's my favorite one. That's
I can
crazy.
play it. I have. I need to show you that after this. I need to
Okay.
show you my 64 setup after this. But
Ooh.
yeah. Anyway, and overall impression rating, I would say at the time a 10. Right. Now I would say I'd probably have to drop it down to a 9. It's still incredible.
A 9?
So here's the thing. At the
Wow.
time it
10?
came out, it was a 10 for
That's not
sure.
a 10.
For sure.
Yeah.
At the time it came out, it was a 10. But like when you factor in how it aged, I think if you compared it against modern games, I would still rank it very highly, right? But I'd have to take some points
go
away.
back and play over and over again. So
Yeah.
I want to play it so bad right
And
now.
I
Me
will
too.
say the quintessential version of it currently, now if we get a remaster or whatever on the Switch, this could change. But the best way to play it, I really do think, is on the 3DS. By far. The graphics are better. You've got better.
I do think the
You've got the
gyroscope
gyro
adds something.
controls. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
better
aiming
version. It just is a better version.
is nice.
I'm sorry to say.
yeah,
It's
you
not
know?
on your TV though. That's
That's
the
true.
only thing.
that's
But you can
that's
take
my
it
one
with you. You
complaint.
can play it on the bus. You can play it in an airplane. You can play it.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, so that's my mini review of
That was really good.
Well, I'm
also
gonna pick
give
up
it a
where
10.
he left off because I played Majora's Mask this week, and similarly, so I remember I mentioned most of this at the top of the show. I played it on 3DS because that's what I had it. That's what was available to me on.
Yes.
And what I liked about it, it's more Ocarina. Really,
Literally.
It's
DLC.
just a continuation.
DLC.
It's
And
literally more Ocarina.
I remember my buddy and I finished Ocarina, and we're like, we want more. Great, here's Majora's Mask. His dad literally walked in. He had the cartridge. He said, as soon as you beat it, I've got something for you. We beat Ocarina. He handed us
Dude,
Majora's
that's a good
Mask.
dad.
That's actually
a
pretty
good
cool.
dad.
That's a good
dad. It was
That's
really
very cool.
That's a neat story.
So we popped it right in the 64 and just kept right on playing.
Yes.
What I didn't like about it,
I don't think it's
time
anything.
mechanic, I guess, is the only
Yeah.
thing I can complain about, and it's
Yeah.
just because it was in my face. If it wasn't in my face,
Yeah.
and if it wasn't in my face, it would be a much harder game. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't know. Maybe it'd be different. That's the only thing I can complain about. Other than that, I'm absolutely adoring it. The art aesthetic, the feeling is amazing.
Story.
The story is so good. Colin, you mentioned that the temples and whatnot are like facsimiles for the 5 stages of grief.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I think
cool.
that's
Yes.
really cool,
That's
and I feel it. Like I get it.
And when you beat the game is acceptance, and like
Yeah.
he finally accepts, blah blah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's
that-
also it's think about it, like everyone's gonna die, and so it's everyone how they're
Mhm.
dealing with death, you know?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm,
the moon's falling, so how are you dealing with death? Like you find this one guy in the back of a store who
Remember
trains
that?
you in a
Ah.
fight. But then like on the
Yes.
last day when the moon's about to fall and crash and kill everyone, he's hiding and cowering and
He's
like,
like,
I
"I'm
don't
a
want to die.
coward."
Yeah.
I don't want to die. I'm a
Oh,
coward. But
so
he's
like-
like the toughest
so, like,
character before that.
It's hard to
yeah.
find. It's like an Easter egg, you know. It's like kind of a
Yeah.
throwaway thing, but it's a
Hard
powerful.
for some,
And again,
Well, for
the
Josh,
music-
Josh told me it's hard for him, so I had to tell him.
Yeah,
what
whoever
that is.
Josh
is.
told us it was really hard.
Yeah, and I had to help
Yeah,
him.
whoever
find it.
that guy is. Yeah, Josh's nickname for Colin.
music and sound are
Anyway.
amazing.
Oh.
There's different, like when you're following the monkey just before the first dungeon, you actually have to pay attention to like 3-dimensional sound.
Yeah,
Which
ASMR
was
almost. Yeah,
Basically not a thing before
not a
that.
thing. Yeah,
Uh,
straight
so
up.
You can tell
that
the
was
engine
super
was
cool.
like optimized on that one.
Yes,
Yep.
Kicked
absolutely.
it up a notch.
You can tell. You can tell it's a little optimized over Ocarina.
Yeah.
2 years helped.
It's taken me, I mean, I've only had a few hours to play so far because it's been a holiday week, but I will definitely continue. So I can't, I've never finished it. I've never finished the game.
Wait, how did you play it? Did he have the expansion pack too? He must have given you the expansion pack. He's like, here's the game,
I think
and
you
here's
get the
Yes.
here's this thing.
expansion pack
I'll
came
get a
out in
spoon.
99.
I'll be right back with the spoon. You'll need the
Oh, I use a
spoon.
penny. I use a penny.
Oh, did you?
I used the little tool.
Yeah.
Like,
it
I
told
had
you
the
to use a
tool.
spoon.
No one had the tool for more
I
than
had
a
the
day.
tool.
No one had it.
I had the
Unless
tool.
you were
I
super
still have
rich.
the tool.
That tool
Oh,
is
There's
worth
one on this
$100
desk
on eBay.
somewhere.
Oh my God,
It's
you
worth
still
$1,200.
You have the
somewhere.
tool still.
I promise
Like the
you.
original
I
tool.
have the tool
Like the
on
real
desk.
tool.
Oh my God.
Promise
You
you.
could
It's
sell that for
somewhere
$1
on
billion
this fucking desk.
probably.
That's what I'm
God.
saying.
My
No
desk
one
is
Oh my
on
owns
the
God,
that.
I have
We're
found the
playing
tool.
cash in the attic
I found
over
the
here.
tool.
I found
It's
it.
Smuckers.
It's right here. There's the fucking
Natural
tool.
strawberry.
That's
This
real
is the tool right
think.
here.
What?
Is this
How
real?
the
Does
hell
it-
do you just have
Does it say
that?
Nintendo on
It's
it?
a relic, Colin. You touched
It's
legendary history, right?
literally cash in the
History-
attic over here.
Oh.
What? Where's?
Okay.
I don't see Nintendo on it.
I don't
though.
think that's an official one. I think that's a third party one.
You
They
lied
made
to
an
me.
off-brand one. Had to buy 100 pack at Walmart or something. You know.
I didn't know they had a
Is-
tool.
Anyway,
That's crazy.
Is
I
the
used the
game
penny.
difficult? Is the game difficult? Yes. There's a lot of
Yes.
stuff going on.
For the first time.
Oh
yeah.
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 you're
Not
Colin.
knowing half the people you're supposed to talk to and where and when is tremendously challenging,
Oh,
but
yeah.
incredibly fun because they make it engaging and they make it
Mhm.
important for the story and important to know everybody and feel how everybody's going through those stages of grief. So
Yes.
it's all incredibly compelling. Would I play a sequel? More of Ocarina and
Oh
Majora?
my god,
Yes.
yes.
Controller pack.
Can you imagine a
please.
return to
Oh, for,
Termina?
like, save
Oh my
whatever?
god.
Just please
A
make that happen.
return.
Overall
I would love
rating
that.
and impression, 9.5 plus.
Whoa, it's a little low.
love-
He said
It's not
9.5
11.
plus.
Yeah,
He
So
hasn't, he hasn't
Does that
finished
get
it.
100?
I haven't finished. I haven't finished it.
That's
So-
fair. The ending is mind blowing. Yeah.
So my
yeah.
impression and rating might change, but
Okay.
as
I have a
of
question. I have a question for you
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
Are you getting Majora's? Are you getting the Fierce Deity mask?
Yes.
And are you
The
going to
one
use
And I
it?
know what that is. He doesn't know what that
Josh-
is. Stop.
Oh,
Josh
okay.
talked over you.
Oh.
Are you getting the final mask in the game? If you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So
I
are you
intend
going to
to.
use it though? You should not use it in the fight.
Okay.
You should
Funny
use it for-
story. Funny story. When me and Colin were co-op playing this game, he used the mask and lost. And then I, for some reason, didn't
No,
have
I
enough
couldn't use the
magic to use
mask.
the mask.
I couldn't use it. Remember?
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
But then
was
I beat him without the mask, and it's like
Yes.
very satisfying. And it was
Yeah.
the first time I ever did it. Like this
very
year.
hard boss fight. Like, but
Very
yeah,
hard.
really
but if
good.
you use the final mask,
it's
I wasn't
super
sure. You know
easy.
what we're talking about, right, Zach?
Yes.
Fierce-
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
Fierce Deity's mask. Okay, I
You
wasn't
have
sure
to
'cause you
get
hadn't
it. All
played
the
it.
masks is the best part of the game. Like all the 24
Right.
masks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the best way to play the game is all masks, because then you get all the storylines and all the side quests.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm following a walkthrough.
Oh, that's so
just-
great.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best way to get the complete experience. I could probably hack my way through it and figure things out, but that's
Yeah. Getting
that's
all
not
the
what
Some
I'm
of
about
it is-
this.
all the
Some of it's really
fairies
obscure.
is good. All the bottles is
Oh.
fun.
Yeah.
All the side quests
Okay,
are
all
fun
the
in there.
fairies is not fun.
I like
Well,
the first one
the walkthrough-
especially.
Great Bay is hell.
Great Bay's not fun. No.
Yeah.
That's a little-
No, yeah.
That's a hard
it's
one.
lot
All water
difficult.
temples though are kind of difficult.
You do that, Colin. That's what Shigeru Miyamoto said. He wanted it to be the most difficult in every Zelda game.
Really?
Oh, did
So
you
you have
really?
something when you hear like the water temple, people will go like, "Oh, well, here it
I mean,
comes." Twilight
yeah.
Princess, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. It's literally, and in Skyward Sword, it's literally like the hardest in every single game.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's funny?
Skyward
is
Sword's withholding
I
wasn't that
remember
hard,
the
but-
water temple in Ocarina of Time being like I needed a team of scientists to complete it when I was
Yeah.
a kid.
So
When
like
I
that.
played
Oh my
through it
God, we
earlier this
struggled
year.
For so long
I
on
played
it.
through it again earlier this year, and I beat it like really fast. It might have been one of the fastest.
Pretty hard, huh?
Yeah.
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 It was not
Yeah.
nearly as hard as I remembered, and maybe I don't know. Maybe like I remembered
It
parts
just
of the
worked,
dungeon,
yeah.
or maybe I just like as an adult could kind of conceive what was going on.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty
Puzzle-wise a little
logical
better.
dungeon if
Yeah.
you actually
It
go
is
through
logical,
it. Like,
yeah.
But it
carefully.
was way easier than I
Yeah.
remember.
You
Like,
also use your map
Yeah.
and compass. 'Cause I never
tremendously.
used those as a
Yeah.
kid. I didn't. I was
Never.
always
Oh,
like dun, 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 like what's this for? You know?
Throw it away.
Me and Colin
me
find
on-
it an insult when you get the compass.
Yeah.
I
Like, you
find
idiot,
it
you
like
got the
an
compass,
insult in
loser.
the 2D ones for sure. Yeah.
Oh.
But 3D,
Yeah,
I
that
think
doesn't
it's
even
useful.
like,
Yeah,
except
it's
when
not
I really
helpful.
can't find a key or something like that, and I haven't played Link to the Past. Like Turtle Rock fucks me if I don't have the map.
Mhm.
I always get the map in like some of those Link to the Past ones,
Yeah.
but at least the map.
Yeah, the
Oh,
map's helpful.
man.
Compass
Map,
is whatever.
yeah.
Like compass, I'll like stumble on and like, all right, fine.
We're like,
I
oh,
don't need
fine,
this.
accidentally got it.
Josh
Good
or
job,
Colin, do you guys have a game you want to review that you think
Who
is going to be
first?
remade or re-released next year?
I'll do Wind Waker.
Let's hear it.
No,
What?
I'm
That was
just-
mine,
I
you
know.
son of a- All right. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah,
or
go
you
ahead,
want
go
me-
ahead.
me?
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So I'm doing Wind Waker. I think it has a strong chance. I honestly do think that Paul is going to be the most correct, and Ocarina of Time is a 100% chance of a remake next year. But I think that Wind Waker stands an amazing chance. If you haven't played it, it came out on the GameCube. It is the most different Zelda game as far as aesthetics are concerned. They really, really went hard in the cell shading this time. For me, it was a huge positive. Like Link was more emotional. There were way more like animations and things that they couldn't really do in Ocarina of Time, and maybe they could have if they tried with regular graphics, but like I think it kind of doesn't like let down over time. Like the HD remake is great, but I played the original also recently, and like it still holds up just because of that cartooniness. Like it will still hold up for so long. What do I like? There's literally nothing I don't like about this game. Okay, let me take that back. About the original, the sale system is kind of that like may take a point. It's still a 10, but like take a point out for me. But then the HD remake like ultimately redeems the game. It becomes the quintessential version. The Triforce pieces was kind of a lacking part. We had to collect the 8 Triforce shards at the end, and they made it like 5. And it's just like, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and say like HD remake, or at least like an all-encompassed version with the HD enhancements will be like what is coming out next year. And let's see, what didn't I like about the game? Literally just like nothing really. And even in like collecting all these shards from across the ocean is really amazing. And it kind of gives you a break from the story, and you can do a lot of side quests. And it's kind of like how a lot of games like Chrono Trigger and a few others like give you a break before the final boss. And they say like, power yourself up, do everything. You have full reign over the entire map now. Like go, do everything, go everywhere. And it's really not bad if you look at it from that perspective. Let's see. The gameplay is phenomenal. I still to this day think it has the best combat of any Zelda game. I stand by that. I think Link is so fluid in Wind Waker. It is just so feel good, and the Z targeting is so good, and it's just very seamless, especially in the HD remake with the gamepad, where you literally can like pull items into your C slots, whatever we call them, whatever the buttons are called now. And like, but even still, like it was very fluid, like very little time on the pause screen, and the pause screen wasn't even like a big thing like Ocarina of Time. I know it was kind of confusing when I was a kid, like where everything was and like all that. But Wind Waker is pretty easy, and it even gives like synopsis on the items. It's like hook shot, this is used for blah blah blah, and you're like, okay, that's nice. Gameplay is phenomenal. The art is, in my opinion, incredible and a huge step up from what it was. Yeah, I'd say so, just because it holds up a little better. Although
It preserves the game really well.
It preserves it. Yeah, and so many things were just so cool. Like Ganon was such a cool character because of these like animations, and I was like, okay, it would have been like he's just another guy, you know. And I wasn't sure. They always do a different iteration of Ganon, so it's just cool to see him in different ways. But this one is such a creative, like Japanese styled Ganon with like, you know, the twin swords and the robe and everything, and just like some of the ways they did some of these designs for characters was only achievable through this graphic style, in my opinion. So I think that was huge. Like background and water and everything. It's just like so like down to the littlest details, and character dialogue is just so good. The music is so fucking incredible. It's madness. Like the soundtrack is like one of the best soundtracks. It's just like a movie. Literally, yes, it is. But there's literally no time where you're not like just humming the song once you've been in the area for a while. Like every song feels so part of that world, and like even like Woodfall, like da 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 da, and it's like its own Kakariko in a way, and like and that's another.
They're not earwormy either. They stick in your head while you're there, and then once you're out, and it's great.
You're out, yeah. It's definitely like, it's not like, oh, okay, this song again. Like, no, it like fits into the world, beautifully done. I believe I'm 99% sure it's still Koji Kondo, so he did Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask as well, and literally everything else. But he's a master. Yeah, he's like, I will say, I think Majora's Mask probably has it's close with Ocarina, but this is the one thing I give to Majora's Mask that maybe it has the best soundtrack of any Zelda game. It's really close.
I do love the soundtrack.
I love it, yeah. But there's some songs in Wind Waker and of course Ocarina of Time that are just like Dragon Roost Island. I used to just sit there as a kid and just like so beautiful. Let's see. The music, the sound design is flawless. Fucking amazing sound. It really just like everything has like a little like the crabs running across the sand, everything. Like the water is perfect. And I love how the water is such a big theme in the game, and the wind and whatnot, but you never actually swim underwater. It's almost like the water is like the darkness, and like you find out that's where like the old ways are buried under. I'm spoiling a little now, but like the whole point is like to destroy the old Hyrule and create a new one that the new Link and Zelda basically like flourish around and bullshit like that. I also like that they're pretty young in this game. So like they're 11 years old in this game. So there's much more of a childlike story. And for me, like it was cartoony and there was some goofy like comic reliefs, but when it got intense, it was like that much more intense because it was like, oh, my cartoon Link. It's like, I can't believe he's going through all this. Like, Jesus Christ, this is an intense story. His grandma's sick or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. Let's see, you know what I mean? How long did it take me? Okay, my first playthrough of this game, I believe it took me 50 hours, and I 100%ed it. So that's pretty
Nice.
good. And I was getting better at Zelda by then. How long does it take me? I can now beat it in 11 hours flat. I think my goal is to beat it in 10 hours eventually. But there's a lot of fat in this game that doesn't feel like. Okay, so it's not like the game has meat that gets in the way. Like, it's all meat, but like there's a lot of stuff you can cut out, like as if it were fat is what I mean. But if you do these side quests and like whatever's, it doesn't, detract anything from the game. But there is a lot you can actually cut out of this game and just like really speed through it that you wouldn't like think of until you start attempting to speed run it. So yeah, about 10 or 12 hours. It's really amazing. Was the game difficult? I will say this is the easiest Zelda game that has been created, aside from arguably Link's Awakening, although the original Link's Awakening is a lot harder than the remake. I think Wind Waker is pretty easy, honestly, at least like now for me, but like there's never any, like a lot of the puzzles are more obvious, and a lot of the, not that that's bad, and a lot of the bosses are more generic and don't take as much thought, but I would say it's like 7 out of 10 difficulty, where like Majora's Mask is a 10 and Ocarina of Time is like a 9. Like Twilight's Princess is really hard too. I have played a sequel, and I wish there was a sequel where it takes place right after you sink the old Hyrule, and it's like Link and New Zelda and Tetra, or Tetra and the pirates, like basically establishing a new world on the islands, and then maybe you see like the water start to recede at the end of the game, and it's like preparing for the new Hyrule to be rebirthed. I would love that.
Wasn't there a sequel to the game?
Yes, so the sequel was Phantom Hourglass. I was saying like maybe it takes place after that. Spirit Tracks, I don't really know. Is it like an actual sequel to Phantom Hourglass, or is it like a new?
I don't know.
I think we're all kind of lost on that one.
I never played Spirit Tracks either.
I didn't play any of those.
I did play a little bit of Phantom Hourglass.
Phantom was one that it's really good. I played it, and then I was like, put it down, and then like 2 years later, I came back and played it, and I loved it. Like, I think the Ocean King's Temple was kind of difficult at first for me, because it's like one that you keep coming back through to with new abilities and like new powers to control like the phantoms or whatever. But overall, I thought it was amazing, and it was really cool at the end to have like a temple that you got to like fully accomplish throughout the game. So that was cool, like a recurring temple. I really liked that. But like, yes, I of course would play another sequel. I do recommend Phantom Hourglass as well. Really amazing game. Let's see. Overall rating and impression. This game is a flawless game for me. It's 10 out of 10. That's only made better. Only like removes minor frustrations and made better by the HD version. And the HD version is a beautiful glossy overhaul, like making it basically an 11. I want this game more than any of the others probably to be put into next year, aside from Ocarina of Time, just because I think it's a very important game for the Ocarina of Time. Obviously, I want the most, but just a very important game that like literally it's only on the GameCube, kind of obscure, arguably, although popular at the time, but now obscure. And then Wii U, which was basically a dead console. So like, unlike Ocarina of Time, which literally it's on every console, like except for the Switch. Like literally, you can get it in the Wii Shop and the Wii U Shop, and it had Master Quest and Zelda Collection on GameCube, so and on 3DS. I still want that bad, but I think Wind Waker deserves it pretty hard. And yeah, 10 out of 10. Do buy it. You can get it for like $20 on the GameCube disc, and it's still like $50 if you want the HD remake. So it needs it. It needs it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my
Very
thing,
good. Colin, what you got for us?
I don't know if Wind Waker's going to come back because they've already remade it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I hate you. I'm just kidding.
No, I know.
I mean, this whole thing is speculation, so it's like we don't know.
I know, it's all speculation. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just think it's an
I think
important
it's gonna
game.
come back because it just didn't get the chance that it deserved.
That's
on
what
the Wii
I'm
U.
thinking.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would
it
love
didn't
that. I would
get a
play
I
it
think
all
chance.
over
I think
again.
they're gonna put it in a combo pack.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a strong
I think that
contender
makes
for a combo.
sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
It's probably one of the more likely ones. But would people be pissed off that there already was a remake and now there's a new remake? You know?
But they might not. A lot of people would be like, "What's the Wii U?"
You know what I mean?
I didn't even notice. Yeah, I don't know. The Wii U was like 2000. It came out in like 2013.
The Wii
so still 8
Who,
years
really?
ago.
I mean, that's what we should be saying.
Oh, the Wii Who. That's good.
What's
Yeah,
your?
Ruru.
What
I
are you
wrote that
reviewing?
joke.
I think Skyward Sword would probably be the one. That's a good one. What I like
Give
about
us a
this game,
review.
I like the stories and the characters in it the most, I think.
Yes.
The fighting was fun when it works and really annoying when it didn't. You know, the controls, because it's motion controls. That's basically the biggest thing I didn't like about it. And there was a lot of fat in it, too. A lot of, like, backtracking. And for, like, needlessly reasons, just to kind of fill out the game, basically, rather than keep the story moving along. And that was kind of a little bit annoying. And there was also like repeats of bosses. Like you have to fight this one boss, I think 3 times actually.
4 times.
Is it 4 times?
I thought it was 4. Yeah,
The imprisoned, and it's like the same
last
boss.
two
It
times
gets
is
slightly
very
harder
close together.
each time. It's just like
Last 2 times is an hour apart.
yeah. By the time you're
It's like,
done,
what the fuck?
it changes slightly a little bit, but not enough to make it interesting. And that was like one would have been enough. You know, maybe make that.
Just makes it harder, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's even more difficult now. Fuck, I already hate this enough.
Yeah.
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 Remember what you told me about that game? You're like, it's like giving birth. Like literally, like it's a beautiful experience. You're like, this is amazing. Oh, it hurts so bad. And then when you finally give birth, it's the most painful thing ever, but it's so worth it in the end. You get a beautiful baby. This is Colin's analogy.
That was good. Colin
Colin,
got
yeah,
some.
it's good.
childbirth.
This Colin guy.
hilarious.
Zelda birth.
We should put him on the show.
So the gameplay
Zelda
is
birth.
like any other Zelda game that's 3D, and you have a sword and a shield, and you fight, and you make your way through. Minimal platforming, really, maybe a little bit, but not really much.
A little more platforming in this one, honestly.
Yeah, there is a little bit more, but again, it's mostly just motion control related stuff and timing things like swinging on vines and that kind of thing. But again, that wasn't the emphasis at all of the game. The emphasis was definitely the combat. And what was cool about this game is that not every single one, but a lot of them had kind of a trick to beating them, basically. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like the bigger mobs did, at least. Like the spider, you know, flip it on its back. There's the lizard, Lizvos. How do you pronounce that?
Lizalfo.
Lizalfos. Yeah.
Lizalfos.
Those were really cool because I was told by Fi, who by the way you love hate in this game, just like Nave. She's just as annoying as Nave,
I just hate
if
Navi.
not
More annoying. More annoying.
but like
She
more of a
forces you
character
to
though by
listen.
the end of the game. So like you actually
Yes.
do like her, and you have like more of a connection to her, but she's more annoying. So surprisingly, but yeah, that was the lizard enemy basically. So you basically can get feedback from Fi, and she'll like talk to you about how to play against them better, and like how your statistics are doing. Like I was doing really poorly against this character. Like she'll analyze like a computer program and then be like, "You actually suck against this character," you know,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. Like it actually taught me
My
like,
status
okay,
report shows
this is where I need to get better, you know, and like it's always that future past technology, you know, like
past,
they-
present,
you
future.
know what I'm talking about? Like that's always been kind of a theme in Zelda is like this. It's like this ancient
Oh yeah,
civilization.
technology from the past.
Yeah.
That's super advanced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like that's kind of what she is. She's a computer program. That's what she is, but she's very much lifelike, you
Yeah.
know, too. So like it seems like it's almost like just magic, but the way she talks is way too much like a computer. So it's very strange. But anyway,
It's really
Um,
cool because that's the first Zelda game too in the storyline. There's still like ancient technology.
oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Remember
about
the
that.
time stones? They say the Ocarina of Time is made
Oh,
out of one of the
yeah.
time stones. That's
Yeah.
like the
That's cool. I
fan
love
lore.
that.
Not
Yeah.
to derail this,
I love
but, and we've talked about this before, but the original plan for the original Zelda was to include time travel, like have a microchip
Yep.
that included time
Mm.
travel to the future and the past.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
I didn't
Very
know that.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Where did you learn that?
I saw it on one of those, like, did you know, or something like that.
He saw it on
Did
our
you know gaming?
podcast.
Was it
after
on our
came out.
properly?
podcast,
Oh,
goddammit.
okay.
He saw it and then came back in time. And
There's like those like
Yeah,
did you know, and they're like all spelled incorrectly, and it's like dumb advice or like dumb like facts that are not real. It was like,
I don't know, the
did
Snapple
you know
cap.
that the voice actor Link fell downstairs and they recorded it, and that's what they used for him falling? And it's like, and he died too, but they got that last recording. So, but it's all like spelled wrong.
Royalties paid to his family.
It's like, did you know? Or something like that. It's very funny. The art is beautiful. I actually love the look of this game. It's a little cartoony, but like if you just embrace it, it's good. It's like Wind Waker, but not quite Wind Waker. More like Studio Ghibli kind of look.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
It's
So-
like anime. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really cool, and it kind of to me it still holds up because of what it was so strongly rooted in. You know, that art style, and it stuck to it really well. One of my bigger gripes was that the world felt empty compared to other worlds and everything. And you go around to all these islands and they're just empty. There's nothing on them, you know?
Yeah.
Or there's a game that you beat and that's it. You never come back to the island, you know?
Yeah.
So that was
I
kind of
agree.
a huge bummer. And like, you know, I think the reason was because the Wii was just underpowered. They couldn't push anymore. You know, there's a lot of loading times between the hub world, you know? And I think because they just couldn't handle, you know, anymore basically. Cause like you literally would fly off and then you'd be able to land on an island immediately, you know, so there was no like load there
It's
at
beautiful.
that point.
Yeah.
It was
Very
incredible.
seamless.
It felt really good, but
Yeah.
like again, it was just empty, you know, and that was kind of like the same issue
Yeah.
with Twilight Princess was like the world was really big for no reason. You know, we all asked for bigger and then we got it and it was like, oh, well, you got to fill it out, you know, you got to feel like it's lived in.
Yeah.
So
That's what Wind Waker nailed, though, and that's why I'm like, how the hell
Yeah.
did they not nail it again? There's like 50 islands in
That
that
entire,
game that
like-
all have something unique.
Yeah, well, and it
Well,
feels like
lightning in
it's
a bottle,
infinite
right?
floating time too. You just keep on like.
yeah, it's
you know,
procedurally like getting
I don't
added
know
to
how
your
it's
horizon.
doing that.
You're just
Yeah,
like,
it's incredible.
Wind Waker is really well.
I'm
but
surprised
yeah,
they
I don't
couldn't.
know.
I mean, they must have all kinds of issues with the clouds or whatever. In,
I
like, in
really
the
love
sky.
the skydiving mechanic though.
Yeah.
It feels really
Yeah.
I love that.
The first
If I
time
play
yeah.
like an entire mini game or whatever of that.
Well, the first time I ever did it, you have to
Yeah.
like Zelda pushes you off the ledge, you know, and like I couldn't stick at the landing. I kept
Yeah.
messing up. Like I lasted probably 10 or 15 times,
Yeah.
and I was like, I hate
Oof.
this game. I'm never playing this.
Avoiding talking about something negative, but this does feel like a predecessor. And I think you've said this before to Breath of the Wild 1. It feels like kind of like didn't you say it feels like a Breath beta at one point?
Yeah, it did. It felt like
You know what
they,
Breath of the
That's
Wild does
exactly what
really
RPD
well
just put in
though
the chat.
is
Oh,
Breath
did he really?
Yeah.
Breath doesn't feel empty to me. Breath
Yeah.
feels
Yeah,
very
it
full
does
to me.
not.
And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things it does really well.
It seemed like they took a
Yeah.
lot of the advice from like older games was like make it feel if it's gonna be big, fill it up, you know. So
Yeah.
it does feel like there's worlds in a lot of places. That's pretty cool. And like
Like a
all
little
the
too bit. No, I'm just kidding.
the music's really good. It's the first orchestrated game.
It is.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
true.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I remember
That is so
buying it
cool,
and you
yeah.
get the soundtrack and the game.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
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 I
and
put
I
that
bought
in
it-
my car for a year.
I bought it from a store and then didn't get the soundtrack.
Split.
So it was like a
What?
used version and I didn't get it.
I even got the gold nunchuck. Did you get the gold Wiimote or whatever? Then it came with a gold Wiimote and the gold.
Yeah, and this was
CD.
used and it barely had the CD in it. So
Yeah, and it was the first Wii
Oh,
Motion
barely
Plus,
had the
too.
CD.
oh yeah,
It was
yeah,
the
like,
first Wii
that's
Motion Plus.
right.
Look, little
So you
dongle
got
in
the
there.
Wii Motion Plus Golden Zelda
the
Edition
dongle.
one, and it was
Mhm.
or the dongle if you didn't have the cool Wiimote. Yeah. nah. Really amazing game.
So the sound design's fine. It's very Zelda-like. It's good. Took me probably 15, 20 hours. I don't remember actually.
It's about 20 to 25.
It's a
I feel
pretty
like.
long game. It's good, but again, it has a lot of filler in it. The game was pretty difficult.
Yeah.
If you didn't get a handle on your controls, like a lot of people either loved it or hated it because of that reason. So like either it's a pretty normal to hard game, or it's just completely impossible. You know, like you just can't handle
I
those
had a real
controls.
hard time with the very first boss, but that was because
Girahim,
my
yeah, right in the beginning.
He's hard.
and
He's a difficult
really hard,
boss.
but also
Very hard.
my nunchuck was fucked up, and so like I had to buy a new nunchuck.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, no, I literally had to buy a new nunchuck. It was busted.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would make a
that
difference.
sucks.
it kept like
That would
disconnecting.
be difficult.
yeah. Play a sequel. Yeah, sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then overall
Yeah.
rating impression, probably a 9 out of 10.
What the hell is wrong?
There were some
That's a
issues with
good-
it.
That's a good
Yeah.
rating.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, I mean,
That's a good
that's
rating.
another thing for me. That we'll talk about this on a different show, but nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
So
Except for
I
Ocarina
like.
of Time.
Except for Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
but,
you
like,
guys.
no, it's just you're gonna be really hard pressed to get a full 10 out of 10 out of me,
yeah.
unless it's Mega Man Zero.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. That's a
Very
12.
good. Very good. Well, you guys, I think we covered it. Like, I really hope that our predictions hold
Yes.
up. Like, I
Yeah.
think we
I
had
want
some
them all
really
to
cool
come true.
predictions. Yeah. Real quick, by special request, I'm gonna talk about the KFC console.
I know
Oh
nothing
my
about
God.
this.
This is rad. Okay.
And I've seen
So
videos
it's
on
on
it.
peripherally.
And I still
So-
know nothing about it.
So-
KFC
no idea
console.
what it's all
KFC, so listen, this is crazy. KFC last year trolled, well, we all thought it was a troll that they were coming out with like an actual console. And they're like, it's going to have a chicken warmer in it. It's going to be dope. And everyone's like, ha ha, KFC, that's funny. Well, they're actually
Well, they
doing it.
released a video game.
my God,
Was
it's
it this year or
incredible.
last year?
yeah.
Love you,
Yeah,
Colonel
like a
Sanders.
dating
I
sim.
just played it
Yeah,
on
it's
stream.
actually really good.
I played that live.
Yeah.
It's
Actually
They
really
also
really
did a
good.
Lifetime movie that came out recently.
Oh
That's
my
like
God,
a drama.
that's right. That was like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
What are
Yeah,
they
yeah.
doing? And I love it.
So yeah, it's crazy. So the new console, it's gonna allegedly gonna be capable of like 240 frames per second, 4K. It's got the built-in
What can
chicken
it play
warmer.
though? What
Very
are
back,
the
2
games?
Well, I think it's a
Probably
PC.
just-
I honestly think it's like a plug-and-play
It's probably
PC.
just PC.
Yeah,
So how much is it gonna be then?
it's gonna be expensive. I'm sure.
1,500.
I'm sure.
I mean, just for that chicken warmer.
yeah, the chicken warmer itself.
$1,500 chicken warmer.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try and get one. I'm not kidding.
1,500 though.
I don't know how much. We don't know.
2,000.
KFC, hook us up.
Yeah.
1,200.
Sponsor us, KFC.
What's
So
good-
yeah.
So you
anyway,
think like you think it basically it'll run Steam? Is that?
yeah, I think that's what.
Probably, yeah. It'll probably just a Windows PC
Oh, that's
or like Steambox.
Yeah. Oh, and it's got a hot swappable graphic card slot, so you can swap out your graphic.
Okay, hang on.
graphics
Go
card.
up. There's the specs up there. The Intel.
Where?
Down. Right there. Complete specs haven't been revealed, but we know it's got an Intel Nook 9 CPU, a 1 terabyte SSD, an NVIDIA GPU.
Well, that's not very
Hot
specific.
swappable GPU slot for easy upgrades. Who really cares about all that one? It's got a chamber to keep your fried chicken warm. So
Yeah.
first of its kind, hot swappable. Like literally, you can swap it out while it's running.
I guess.
Why would
that
you?
seems bananas.
That does seem bananas.
Certainly not while it's running. Certainly not.
Hot swappable. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Or is
I
why,
mean,
is why the
stop and
chicken's
swap.
hot. Maybe
These
it's
are
why the
hot swappable. I can pull these.
It's while the
these out.
chicken's hot.
They're like, that's all I meant. Oh, damn it. Did you actually pull that out while I was running? Oh my God. Wow. Okay, I can see why you think. Yeah, no, that's our bad. Don't do that.
That's hilarious.
It's cold swappable.
It's cold swappable.
Oh my god.
Yeah, anyway,
chicken
so
can be
that's pretty
warm now.
rad. I think that was cool to include. Anyway, that wraps it up, man. I think this was a really fun episode.
This is a good episode.
Colin's
Yeah.
last show.
Colin's last
until-
show, dude.
He did it.
Permanent guest.
Yep, until he's a permanent guest next week.
I'll be on
Yeah.
next week.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, everyone have an
Like you
awesome
will.
evening. Enjoy your holidays. Happy New Year's. We really hope that the next
Are
year
we
of
gonna do
Zelda
the
is going to
social
be
thing?
rad. Yeah, we should probably do our socials. Let's
Yes.
see here. I'm going to post this right here. So that's where you can follow us there. If you're watching this right now, you're on my channel where I stream on Twitch, which is Ryugami-san. You can follow me on Twitter at Ryugami-sama if you want to yell at me about something. If you're watching this on YouTube, please share it. That's all I ask. Like it if you
Yes.
want. I don't care about that, but like share it. I just want to get this out there. I think we have fun, and I think if you enjoy it, you should share it with your friends. That's all I ask.
Agreed.
Anyway, where can we find you guys? Colin is gone, so ignore him.
It's a ghost.
Josh,
Lord
we're-
Yeshua and Lord Yeah, that one. Lord Yeshua and Lord Yeshua TTV on all my blisms. And who knows when I'll be back.
And I'm another letdown on Twitch and DENONCZD on Twitter. I'm live on Twitch Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week.
We'll have some official graphics for him next week. I'll make sure that gets done.
Oh, he's getting Colin.
Yep. We're gonna replace him. Anyhow, everyone have an awesome evening. Thank you so much, and happy holidays.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
guys. Woohoo!